Welcome back to the NSAA State Basketball Tournament. Class B championship game on Ole Red. About a minute 20 to go until we start the second half off. Omaha Skutt leading at 27-24 over Norris at the half. One thing that I noticed in this game is how these teams, they like to kind of run the ball a little bit. But 4 points on the fast break for Norris, 2 for Skutt. That is it. So the transition defense has been really good for both teams.
Yeah, the transition's interesting because I don't think either of these teams, like if they need to get out and run, if that's the tempo of the game, they can do it. But I don't think if you ask Kyle Juergens or Jimmy Moats what your style is, I don't think they'd say high tempo, get out and run. They both kind of like to move the ball methodically up the floor. Alex Small, you mentioned a couple of times he's had to tell Norris slow it down a little bit because I don't know if they necessarily have the speed to get out and run with some of these teams. That's been interesting to me. We'll see if that keeps up in the second half.
I want to mention in more Nebraska sports news, Nebraska women's basketball up 47-40 over Maryland in the Big Ten tournament semifinals at halftime. Nebraska trying to make it to the Big Ten women's tournament championship game, which would be played tomorrow. And that would be quite the Cinderella run by Nebraska. They came in 5th in the Big Ten, and they have a chance to make it to the title game tomorrow. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, we got the Bulls starting lineup, Tunnel Walk, Husker Tunnel Walk playing to start the second half.
Yeah,
electric.
Two Chicago guys here broadcasting this game, so we know the Chicago Bulls pretty well.
Well, you know what's funny? When I came out here, I knew this song from the Bulls.
Yeah.
No. But people here had no idea that was like a thing that was started during Michael Jordan's era. They all knew it as the Husker Tunnel Walk.
Yeah. Different world between states, I guess.
Yeah. Understandably, though.
Yeah, understandably. The Huskers are the biggest talk of the town here in the state of Nebraska. There's no doubt about it. Well, this might be the talk of the town if it comes down to the wire in this one. And the second half is about to be underway with Skutt leading at 27-24 over Norris. We're just waiting for the media timeout to finish on Nebraska Public Media. And then we should be able to get underway with Skutt to start off with the ball. 1 half to go in the state championship game. Will it be defending champions or will it be a long drought finished off by Norris? Go work the top for Scholl. Skutt has the ball to begin the half. Kyle Cannon bounce pass to Scholl, going inside, lays it up and in. A great pick and roll action for Skutt, and they get a layup to start the second half. 29-24 favor of the Skyhawks. And here's Chris Garner now for Norris. They haven't been able to shut down Scholl, but Garner hasn't really been able to get to his rhythm. Boziger, step back jumper from the baseline. Got it. Great shot by Barrett Boziger. Up to 5 points on the game. 29-26. Now, can Norris get a defensive stop here?
I'd really like to see Norris get the lead in this game because I feel like it would change the aura and change kind of some of their game plans.
That's a good start there as the pass from Scholl near the half-court line. Too far out of the reach of Van Dyke, and a turnover committed by Skutt. Could this be the way that they can either pull within one or tie up the game with a 3?
Yeah, I think this changes a lot if Norris gets out in front. Remember yesterday with Crete and Skutt. Skutt pulled away, and it was a completely different ball game once they got the lead.
Greenfield bounce pass to Small, right side, to the top of the key for Boziger. Boziger driving it inside. Fadeaway jumper, tough shot, off glass, no good. Greenfield grabs the board underneath. Fadeaway jumper from the baseline, no good. Rebound underneath, and they're going to get a foul on Greenfield on the rebound as Zeeble was fouled. If you're Greenfield, I would like to see off that rebound, maybe kick the ball back out, reset the play instead of taking a tough fadeaway jumper on the baseline.
The foul stinks.
Yeah.
The shot probably wasn't great, but that rebound was as good of a rebound as you'll see today.
Yeah, second personal on Greenfield. Nobody really in foul trouble for either team. Nobody above 2. And here is Kyle Cannon for Skutt. Minute and a half into the third. Cannon guarded by Greenfield near that Huskers logo at midcourt. Kicks it over to Van Dyke. Left corner now for O'Doherty. Scholl is being double teamed in the post. They get it down low to Zeeble, though, who has trouble fielding the ball. Kicks it back outside for Kyle Cannon. 10 on the shot clock. Pump fakes a 3. And I think he accidentally jumped on that one and traveled in the process. So it's another Skutt turnover. 2 here early in the second half.
Yeah, how many do they have for the game, Kyle? Is that 5?
Check here. They have 5. Yep.
Yeah, and Norris has 1 turnover.
What a game for Norris so far. Yeah. Here's Boziger near the Huskers logo. Here the panhandle, gives it off to Small, working it around for Greenfield. Greenfield, dribble move, driving it inside. Kicks it back out for Barons, top of the key. Lets a three fly. No good. Rebound by Small. He tried to keep it in bounds and was not able to. Barons is having a rough go so far in this game. Started the game off 0 for 2 from beyond the arc with an air ball. Since then, 0 for 2 as well. 0 for 4 on the game from 3. I think he's getting in his own head right now.
Yeah, I mean, Barons is a three-point guy, so sometimes it just comes in waves. We'll see if he can hit one and get the confidence back.
Here's Cannon, doubled up, kicks it over to Scholl. Wide open three, right side. Oh, it no good. That looked good from when it left his hands. Rebounded by Greenfield. Alex Small can push. Small going coast to coast inside. Layup. Great defense by Kyle Cannon. No foul, shot no good. Van Dyke the other way. 2-on-2. Van Dyke spinning in the paint. Puts up the shot, and he gets it to go. Van Dyke is a beast inside. This whole Skutt team is just, I just don't know how they do it. I don't know how they're so good every year. But it's just quite impressive how they don't even have many seniors on their team either. They still have a few years to be good, too.
Yeah, and that was a nice up fake by Van Dyke. I mean, he just went up with it, and Barons thought he had shot the ball, so he swatted to go block it, caught him on the arm, and luckily for Van Dyke, the shot fell. It was kind of one of those, it was at the mercy of the rim. Was it going to rim in or not? And it did.
Norris's largest lead of this game has been 3. The largest lead of the game for Skutt is 5 right now. Here's the free throw by Van Dyke. Rims in and out, no good. Scholl grabs the board. He stepped on the line, too.
It went over
and he also double dribbled and over the back. One of those was called out of 3.
So that's turnover number 6 for Skutt.
Yeah, turnover number 6 on the game for Skutt Catholic. Norris gets the ball as he did a double dribble. That was the call after the offensive board by Scholl. Largest lead of the game for Skutt, 31-26 over Norris. 3 minutes into the third quarter. Alex Small over to Greenfield, right side. Dribble move, Greenfield posting up. Kicks it back out to Garner. Garner top of the key, spinning inside, putting up the layup. Oh,
Woo!
Nice move. He spun to the rim and put it in with his left hand.
Yeah, that was shifty. Forced him to his offhand as well.
At 31-28, Garner with 8 points leads Norris in scoring. Nearly midway through the third quarter, still a 3-point Skutt lead. How can Norris take that lead? Like we said, Cannon drives to the rim. Oh, what a layup by Cannon as he split the defense and put his head down, drove to the rim and put it in. 33-28 now, Skutt in the lead.
Yeah, he's decisive, went right at it and absorbed the contact. No call, but he got the shot.
Alex Small underneath, guarded by Cannon. Back out to Bornschlegel. Great defense by Kyle Cannon. Now it's Garner in the post for Greenfield, posting up. Greenfield puts up the tough shot. Oh, and he puts it in through contact, no foul. And Skutt back up by 3. It's just back and forth. The thing is, Norris can't have it be back and forth while trailing by 3. They need to get a stop right now with 4 minutes to go in the third. Skutt leads at 33-30. Kyle Cannon driving baseline behind the back. Kicks it back out to the top of the key. Left corner now. No shot for Linderman. Kicks it to the free throw line. Back out to Kyle Cannon. 15 on the shot clock. Cannon top of the key. Swings it to the right side now. O'Doherty in the post for Scholl. Double teamed on the baseline. Triple teamed. It leaves O'Doherty wide open from the top of the key. And they get it to go. Triple team comes from Norris, and it leaves the shooter wide open. Skutt isn't going to miss those. 3 for 3 for Skutt in their last 3 field goal attempts. 6-point lead, largest of the game. Skutt fans getting loud behind us. Greenfield, and we get a pushing foul. Alex Small fouled off the ball by O'Doherty. This game is brought to you by Western United Mutual Insurance, home office in Wilbur, members-owned credit union in Beatrice and Lincoln. They need financing for heavy machinery, farm equipment, truck trailers, RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Timeout called by Skutt. Biggest lead of the game for the Skyhawks, 36-30 over Norris. 3:26 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back after this on Ole Red. Welcome back to NSAA State Basketball Tournament on Ole Red, the Class B championship game. Skutt leads at 36-30 over Norris. 3:26 to go in the third quarter. Well, Norris has played Skutt 15 times since 2010. 3-12 Norris is against Skutt. Their last win was in 2014, 48-46. That was a home game. Norris hasn't beat Skutt since 2014. They've lost 11 straight times. One including this season as well. In the regular season, they lost by 3 against Skutt. And currently they trail by 6 here late in the third quarter of this state championship game. These two teams have only played twice in a season. one other time. That was 2019-2020 season, right before COVID started. And it was a loss by Norris twice, losing at home by 10, and then losing in the state quarterfinal by 8. That's the last time these teams have played in state, a Skutt win in the quarterfinal.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's coming down the stretch again. I mean, it's a 6-point game, which in and of itself is not a large lead, especially at the state tournament, especially in the state final. But to me, that is a close game, and I think Norris just got to hit a couple shots, and they're right back in it.
Boziger drives it with his left, puts up the shot. There's a foul on the floor before the shot. It's going to go on Will O'Darty. And that's going to be Skutt's first foul of the quarter. Oh, sorry, second team foul, excuse me.
Yep.
Still, that's pretty good. None of these teams have been fouling very much here in this game. Here's Bornschlegel, top of the key, pump fake. Had it stripped from Kyle Cannon. He took it out of his hands. And Skutt gets a takeaway. And for Norris, that's only their second turnover of the game, the entire game. Kyle Cannon gets a screen, kicks it to the left side for O'Darty. Pump fake. O'Darty guarded by Folkerts, gets space. O'Darty inside, picks up his dribble. Back out to Cannon. 15 on the shot clock. They get it down wide open is Scholl. How easy is that? Scholl just got separation and put in the easy layup. And if Norris can't figure out a way to stop Scholl, this game is not looking good for the Titans.
Yeah,
we get another. Sorry, Jake. We get another off-the-ball foul on O'Darty, and for O'Darty, Jake, that's going to be his third personal.
Yep.
First player in this game to get to 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay here. That last play with Scholl that you called. I mean, all he has to do is hold the ball, chest high, right along where it says Skyhawks on the jersey, and if he can just turn around, he's going to make it. And Norris they had him well guarded, and then he just moved away from the defender and put the ball up and put it in.
Well, the thing is that Brock Scholl, he hasn't come out one time in this game. He's played the entire game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the crazy part, that he's just been on the floor the entire time. He doesn't need much rest. Norris is hoping he can go to the bench at least one time. Here's Garner, top of the key, pump faking, going inside, putting up the layup, and it hung on the rim for about 3 seconds. Did not fall. Garner flew in for the rebound and fouled him in the process. That's just the most unfortunate shot you could ever dream of if you're Norris. That hung up on the rim, kind of like I didn't even know how to, kind of like a Duke UFC or a UCF shot from a few years ago where the ball just hung on the rim for a few seconds and didn't fall. And now Skutt gets a really lucky break. Can they take a double-digit lead? They lead by 8. 2.5 to play in the third. Van Dyke kicks it over to Cannon, back to Van Dyke. Van Dyke dribble move, gets to the mid-range shot. No good off the glass. Rebound poked free, picked up by Norris. Here comes Boziger, and he'll slow it down. Boziger kicks it to the right corner for Greenfield. Kicks it over to Bornschlegel. Right side three-pointer. They need this, and he hits it. They needed that desperately.
Just when it felt like Norris was about to get, kind of pushed to the brink here and Skutt was going to pull away, that gets him right back in. Let's get a stop now.
Here's Cannon going to the rim, and that is a foul and one. Kyle Cannon, not much more Bornschlegel could do there. He literally had his hands in the air, and they call a foul. Not much more he could do in that situation.
No, that was just a really good take. Yeah. Really good take. Kyle Cannon's a good player.
Cannon now has 8 points on the game. 6 points. And here's the free throw here to put Skutt back up by 8. That three-pointer from Bornschlegel was a huge help. And the free throw no good for Cannon, so it's a 7-point game. Here comes Greenfield quickly up the court on the left side. Greenfield dribbles past the defenders. Garner, Folkerts open at the top of the key, puts up a 3. It's short, and the rebound goes to who else but Brock Scholl, who has 7 rebounds in this game.
Don't mind the shot by Folkerts. When he was open, it was straight away.
Here's Cannon, dribble move inside, going again, gives it up to the pass down low to Zeeble. Haven't seen him very much down in the paint. It's been all Scholl. Now Zeeble gets his name on the column, and Skutt has their biggest lead of the game. It's a 9-point lead. Folkerts takes it to the rim, swatted by Cannon. Hansmeyer gets the offensive rebound and puts it in, and a timeout called by Jimmy Motes of Norris. Skutt is dominating. They're showing why they are the defending champions. And this is the biggest point in the game for Norris. They trail by 7, 42-35. Skutt leads it. 1:15 to go in the third. I'll be back after this on All Red. Welcome back to the NSAA State Basketball Tournament on All Red, brought to you by Titan Nutrition in downtown Hickman. Brett Bernheide with Nutrient Ag Solutions, West Highway 15 and Adams. Hey, it's a 7-point Skutt lead. 56% for Skutt shooting from the field, 50% from three. Jake, right now Skutt shooting like I just put the sliders all the way up on NBA 2K.
Yeah.
They are not missing these shots.
No, they're not. They're making a lot of shots right now. I mean, let's see what they're shooting in the second half. Of course, we get the live stats now. That's pretty clutch.
77%.
Yeah, 78% in the second half.
Goodness. I mean, Norris is shooting 42%. That's not bad at all.
No, but when a team's, I mean, they got to be. Yeah, they're 7 of 9 in the second half. You're going to pull away in a close ball game when you're shooting that well.
78%. Here's Van Dyke on the right side. Gets a screen, and we're going to get an offensive foul on Van Dyke. He pushed McCoy Folkerts down to the ground, and that is a big offensive foul forced by Norris.
Yeah, that was maybe a little intentional, if I had to guess.
24 points in the paint for Skutt. It's been an incredible game down in the paint, even though they're shooting exceptionally well from three. 30 points out of 42 from three. Excuse me, that's actually a little bit less than that. Here's Boziger trying to drive on Van Dyke, and we get a blocking foul on Van Dyke, which is going to be his third personal foul. O'Darty, Zeeble, and now Van Dyke with 3 personal fouls. Wanted to correct myself on that last stat. I said 18 points out of 42 coming from three for Skutt today. 2 shots coming up here for Boziger as Norris is in the bonus. First free throw is good. Hey, stay tuned for our Pain of the Game, brought to you by Husker Rehab in Fairbury, Beatrice, Lincoln, and Nebraska City. Right now, if I could guess what the pain of the game was going to be prior to the ending, it would be Brock Scholl for Norris, the way he's been playing in the second half. Second free throw goes in for Boziger. 42-37, Skutt leads by 5. 48 seconds to play in the third quarter. There's about a 16-second difference between game and shot clock. Kyle Cannon has been good today. Finds the cutter. It's Brock Scholl. Fouled and one. They just cannot miss. Pinnacle Bank Arena is their home away from home, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got 2 dudes that are this tall, that are this physical, that are going to absorb contact like that, I mean, that's why they're 78% in the second half.
3 for 3 on the last 3 field goal attempts. 8 for 9 for Skutt on their last 9. Here's the and-one free throw for Brock Scholl. Good. 80% from the field here in the second half for Omaha Skutt Catholic. They lead by 8 again. How do you stop them if you're Norris? Jimmy Moats is going to have a tall task ahead of him. Now there is 25 seconds to go in the half. And McCoy Folkerts, the third quarter, McCoy Folkerts working it around a green field. They're taking their sweet time. Going to get an off-the-ball foul here. I think this one's going to go on Linderman of Skutt. There's been a lot of off-the-ball fouls here in this game on Skutt. And that's 16 fouls in this quarter for Omaha Skutt. Once again at the bonus now. It's another 2 free throws coming up here for Boziger. He hits the first one. Boziger hits the first free throw, and it's Behrens coming in. Hansmeyer coming out for the Titans. And that's the thing, Jake. Skutt doesn't have many players come off the bench. Their starting lineup is so strong and so good with their endurance.
Yeah,
as Boziger goes 2 for 2. 15 seconds to go in the half, or in the third quarter, I should say. Kyle Cannon bringing it ahead. No shot clock for Omaha Skutt. 6-point lead. Cannon, dribble move. Pulls up a deep three-pointer, top of the key. It rims in and out. Rebound down low. Blocked. Scholl gets it again, and he puts it in. Not much more Norris can do in that instance. When you're going up against a guy that's 6'8", going to be a good college athlete. And Scholl gets 2 offensive rebounds in the last possession of the third quarter and puts in the layup. Omaha Skutt, 1 quarter away from winning back-to-back state titles. 47-39 leads it over Norris. We'll be back for the fourth quarter after this on All Red.